Is writing down notes good for remembering and integrating stuff in your life? So actually, well, I'm definitely a note taker. I'm definitely a note taker. Some things I talk myself through. This is what school has taught me. Let me give you a college trick, right? You have to get creative in how you learn. You cannot always be flashcards and notes. You gotta watch videos sometimes. You gotta do office hours with your professor. You gotta learn and debate with other students. You gotta watch other professors teach the same subject. You gotta read the book and then read it and see if it makes sense. Like, you gotta play your angles. You gotta learn from so many different angles. I'm telling you, because I had to really learn some hard ass subjects. Calculus, college calculus, college statistics, Selomolec bio, or organic chem. What was that wasn't even some of the hardest shit though, but it was like zoology wasn't that bad. It was a lot of memorization. But you gotta learn certain things is different. Some knowledge has to be learned conceptually. Like, you have to understand the concept. Some shit is memorization. Mikey Michelson, I appreciate the 5 months. Mikey Michelson, I appreciate the 5 months. Y'all going crazy with the subs. We at 713. We love to see you. Yo, if you don't learn, I'm gonna wait till the subs is done. The earlier you learn this, the better. So even if you're in high school, right? The earlier you learn how to teach yourself, the better. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I think it's like one more sub. Okay, no, that's good. Appreciate the subs though. Yo, you have to learn how to teach yourself. Even if you got a good teacher, a good tutor, all these. If you never learn how to teach yourself things in life, you know all these books over here, in the books I got in the living room, in the books I got in my bedroom. That wasn't an assignment. I like, you have to love learning. You gotta fuck school. Bare minimum, you gotta like to learn. Your curiosity is a fundamental in higher classes, a high enough. Cause some shit gonna be hard, right? Zeesh, I appreciate the big 5 months, right? We got some game.
Niggas don't know how to be alone anymore.
I had a 3.8 GPA in my first semester, and when I dropped out, I had a 3.45. Dropped out in the honors college. Like, I had my shit loaded. My shit was lined up. I was only on an upward trajectory. Like, my shit, I didn't drop out like, oh, school is hard as fuck. Don't get me wrong. School will whoop your ass. School will definitely have you. It'll have you in some moments where you like, man, I'm about to go sell drugs. Shut up. In GTA. Like, yo, like, I'm about to go back to the block, man. Like, I might start an OnlyFans, man. Like, for real, bro. Like, school really would test you, bro. So I'm not saying that like, oh, school was easy for me. I had high grades. My point being is that I was successful in school, so I'm not just talking out my ass. Dropping out was a choice. Like, it was a complete choice for me. A conscious and like, all right, fuck this. I'm focused on this, right? Listen. You have to learn how to teach yourself. And there's two types of knowledge, right? It's conceptual, and then it's like shit that you want to memorize. It's probably explained more than that, but it's from my brain, it's how I used to think. Some shit is concepts. Like, I have to understand the concept. And then I can get a proper score on whatever test, right? Some shit is memorization. Like, I have to memorize what it is. The terms, what they mean, or what's going on. I have to memorize it. Even if I don't understand it, if I memorize it, that will get me a higher score. The harder it get is when you gotta combine the two. You gotta understand the shit and memorize it. So this is what I'm saying. If you can't get creative, if you only a flashcard, take notes type of person, that's where you're gonna be. Your learning is gonna be stunted, because you gotta get creative, bro. You gotta listen. I used to walk outside, bro. I'm crazy, bro. I used to walk in circles and talk out loud when I really didn't get something. I'm crazy, chat. I'm really like, bro, I'm really crazy, bro. Like, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing what it takes, bro. I would like read some shit, take a nap, wake up, and then read it like, bro. But it worked. It worked. I used to use certain hacks. Like, you know how they say, you never wanna binge study. PVT Car, I appreciate the 11 months. So you never write the nap method I told you about, right? You never want to binge study, right? But if you do, don't pull an all-nighter. That's what people do. They say, oh, I'm gonna stay up all night. No, this is what you do. This shit works every time. You know why it works? Because in order to memorize shit, your brain has to sleep. Your brain has to sleep in order for certain things to go into deeper memory of your brain. I don't remember the whole science back then, but I used to utilize this a lot. It's how I used to memorize things in a short period of time, learn in a short period of time, right? Ameezy, I appreciate the 3 months. Listen, before I start putting the naps in, like let's say it's 8 p.m., right? And the test is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Here's how I would have did that shit. I would find out the entire criteria of the test. It was on chapters 10 to 12. I need to take notes. I need to write without even understanding. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just take notes on everything from 10 to 12. All the important shit, the bold letters, whatever, right? And I remember this when I clutched this. I had to do this for statistics because I kept skipping the class. The dude, he taught in a way where I knew I couldn't learn from him. And I didn't buy the textbook because that shit was like $130 and I was a college student. I wasn't doing it, right? So I used to use my homie textbook and I would take pictures of all the pages I needed. Shout out to my guy, right? And I remember he was like, yo, we got a test Thursday. I'm like, damn, Thursday? I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, I didn't even, like, on what? He like, yo, and this is, I'm like, damn, bro, I never. So I knew I had a lot to consume at one time, right? So this is what I did. I said, let me see your textbook. Let me just take a picture of everything that's going to be on there, right? I know how to cram information the proper way. Boom, this is the first thing you do. You order everything. Like I said, I went through every chapter, read it, and took notes. I didn't take no naps. Nothing could come before this. You gotta organize all the information. You have to know what you're tackling, right? Chavis Ray, I appreciate the 2 months. After that, now I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna study and review the first. Let's say I break it up into 4s. Let's say I take 12 pages of notes. Divide that by 4, that's 3 pages. I'm gonna get the first 3 pages real strong. Take a nap. Reread a short nap though, like a half an hour, 15 minutes, maybe even an hour. I'm not sleeping for 8 hours that night, or 5 hours, or 6 hours. I'm getting barely any sleep that night. Like I'm getting like 30-minute intervals, 1 hour intervals, and I'm setting alarms. Like I'm really going hard, like real shit, bro. And fortunately, this worked for me because I was cool with my roommate, and they would be up late anyway. So, like, I didn't have to disturb my roommate or be too much of an inconvenience, right? So listen, I would do that, right? Learn those first 3 pages. Boom, 45 minutes, right? Nap. Wake up, reread the last 3 pages, and then start the next 3. Get those next 3 strong. And I'm talking about this is a process. It's not like I'm not reading over my notes. Like I said, when I was taking the notes, the plan was not to understand what I was writing or to comprehend. The plan was just to organize the information, so I know what I'm like to have everything organized and not just be reading endlessly, right? Now it's like I'm going back to the book. I'm comparing the examples that they wrote. I might YouTube a video. I might Google some shit and try to read an article that might re-explain it in a I'm trying everything I fucking can to understand what the hell I just wrote down, and then I take another nap. And then I reread everything. I skim. I'm literally skimming. Reread everything from page 1 through 6. Then start the next 3. And then by that next morning, when I wake up that next morning, and I got like an hour before class, and I'm rereading the notes, I done seen this shit like 50 times. And because I slept, I allowed it. Look this shit up. Don't believe me. Look up that you like. That's why cramming and staying up the night before doesn't work, because your brain has to. When you sleep, your brain has to like. That's how shit goes into your deeper memory. That's how shit sticks when you sleep. So I slept a lot in between what I was learning in order to let that shit store, and then the repetition, I kept rereading it, and then slept again and kept rereading it. Every time it just kept going and going and going, and that shit worked for me. It worked. I go in that testing and then boom, get some high ass score, and then be like, oh, all right, I just start studying like 2 days before that. Now, ideally, you don't want to do that because I was a procrastinator. Bullshit like that. So you don't want to do that. You want to give yourself some time in advance. You want to be scheduled. You want to be organized. And you won't have to do shit like that. But I'm just saying, I feel like because I was lazy, I found like ways to cheat without cheating. You know what I'm saying?